give everybody a second to get on, and you can look at my wall while I log on. Hi, Sydney. Okay, hold on. I'm so bad at this. I think I have to do it from the other computer. Okay. I'm excited. Here we go. I'm just sharing it. Say hi if you're coming on. Hi, Evelyn. Okay, I think I have to share it to my page another time because it only lets me share to my personal. But we're taking over. I'm so excited. Oh, thanks, Sydney. Hi, Amy. Hi, Tina. Hi, Ginger. I don't want to miss anybody. Hi, everyone. Okay. I have a lot on my work. I'm going to have to do my hashtag for my workspace just for this live because it's pretty cool. All right. Do you want me to just go ahead and dive in, Miss Sydney? I know I'm taking over, but you're still in charge. I'm gonna start microwaving. Okay. I'm gonna microwave, so I even brought my microwave here. So we are gonna get our Isomalt tiles heated up a little bit, and I'm gonna just flip the camera down, so bear with me. Don't worry, I'm gonna move it. Nope, wrong way. There we go. Okay. Hi, Diane. Hi, Jackie. I see Jackie's hearts. I think if I go like this, let's see. Perfect. Okay, we got this little guy over here hanging out. So this is what we're gonna work on today. This is made with some mixed mediums. Can everybody hear me? Sorry, I guess I should have started with that. We have both cookie, we're gonna work with cookie, a little bit of royal icing, and of course Isomalt. And Mama Sheer, y'all, Mama Sheer doesn't have a Facebook, but she is here with Miss Diane. I'm super stoked. Okay, so we're gonna learn this today, and I just wanna thank Sydney for inviting me to this takeover, and I'm super excited about this. Anytime I get to play with Isomalt is a fun time. So, my name's Rebecca. If you guys don't know me, I am the owner of Sheer Celebrations. We are a baking supply store in San Antonio, Texas. And I met Sydney a long time ago. It's got to be over a decade ago by now. And it seems like yesterday I was like, oh, who is this person and her wonderful family? And she taught me how to blow a bubble with Isomalt. She was up in Dallas, and I was visiting friends in Dallas, and that was it. I was hooked. And now all these years later, I have a supply shop, and I carry Sydney's products, and they're the best. So, ooh, that's the microwave. So we are going to start with the cookie portion, just because the Isomalt is still cooking up a little bit. So I have a round cookies, and I took the liberty of icing one of them in green. So if we want like a green background, we can do that. So I just used royal icing, and if you need a recipe, just shout out to me or message us, and we're happy to email you the recipe that we use. It's basically 2 pounds of sugar, 5 tablespoons of meringue powder, and if you want flavoring, and then 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup water, just depending on how runny or not runny you want it. I did have everything ready, but my scissors walked across the room. So when I do cut my icing bags, I do make sure my seam is facing the ceiling. One seam, I flatten it out, and I'm gonna cut across perpendicular to that seam. This will give you an open hole, like a circle, versus a football or lemon shape, and you want to make sure you grab that little guy so he doesn't get in your cookie. So we are just going to pipe and flood our cookie. So if you're not a cookier out there, I compare piping and flooding cookies to coloring in a coloring book. Oops, that was my bag, I swear. I always outline first so that I can stay in the lines. And you'll see how extremely careful I'm being. Ha ha ha. Because this isn't the fun part. The fun part is the Isomalt. So we want to get to that. And my original piece, I did not, you can see I did not flood the cookie. Of course, do you think that I have my scribe tool here? No, but I have one of my Simi tools, so I'll use that. I didn't flood it, I just left it. So you can leave it naked. You could do an Isomalt base. You could do this entire piece in Isomalt. You could do this entire piece in cookie. Like, it's really up to you. Now, I'm gonna use my little multi-purpose tool right here. I flood with really thick icing, as you can see. So, but by the magic of television, I have one that's already dry, but I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of pipe and flood. So you could do this if you don't like naked cookie. Some people are super anti-naked cookie, and I'm not one of those people. I'm like, it's a cookie. It's okay if there's a naked spot. It's not a person. We're not was that flashing? So there you have your cookie, all nice and smooth, and then you're gonna let it dry and it will be completely dry. Now you can drop in your other cookies wet too. That's not a problem. It just all depends on what you like to do. Okay, so next we have the cookie dough. So it's really not next, but this is the Plumeria mold. And what does Q mean? I don't know. I guess I need to read comments too. For some reason, I thought I would hear Sydney talking and reading comments out loud, but that's not how this works. Okay, so if I miss a question, just somebody repeat it in the chat. And I don't know what Q means. So what I'm gonna do is I have my dough. I just pulled a little baggie of dough from my dough that I made last night. And again, if you need the recipe, just let us know. We are working on a new website, so hopefully we'll get some of those up. But I literally just pop it in and then pull it out, and you can see it holds its shape. So my recipe doesn't have a lot of spread, almost none. You'll see the completed cookies. I mean, they grow a little bit, but they really don't lose the detail. Depending on your cookie recipe, you may want to chill it at this point. But I literally just take a bit of dough, pop it in, press it down, and I like to kind of smooth it in so that those little edges aren't flapping over. And then I just pull it out. And then I just pop these on my baking tray, and I do use a mat. And then, so you'll see like the back of them have like this cool little design. I do use a mat. If you're doing 2 trays, like a regular cookie and these, I would say about 4 or 5 minutes. If you're doing them by themselves, 5 minutes was definitely too long because I did them 5 minutes with 2 trays and it was fine. And then the next time I did them 5 minutes, and to me they were too crispy. So it just, again, depends on how you like your cookie, but I will show you. This is 5 minutes on its own. It's fine on the top, but it's super crispy on the bottom. Delicious to eat, but I like them to be a little bit more doughy. Okay, so that is how you do that, and then you're gonna bake them, at 400. Bake them at 400. And that is how I made the cookie flowers. I also used this mold, and I used this flour for my center flour. You can see it in the center there. This one was a little more tricky. You do have to make sure you're pushing in. After you pull it out of the mold, I guess I could just show you one. After you pull it out of the mold, so you see how these will show there, but if you don't mess with them and neaten them up before, I'm gonna slowly peel it out. Oops. And if it rips, you just wad it back up and do it again. Oopsie. But in nature, flowers don't always have all their petals, so it's a-okay. But if I have any of these, I can use a tool, or I can just use my fingers and just push it in. So that's just when they're deeper or they have more like cut-ins, just be careful of that. But that one is how you do the cookie. I put a big chunk of Isomalt in there, so I'm gonna keep heating it up. All right. Anybody have any questions on the baking in your, or using your Isomalt molds? Okay. Are you ready for the fun stuff? Okay, so after I baked my cookies, now I have a bunch of these little flour cookies ready to go, but they're just cookie color. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint them. I use a little bit of royal icing. So I have my yellow royal icing here, and I barely coated them with the yellow royal icing. So I'm gonna have my little paint palette here and knead my bag a little bit. So I did them 2 different ways. You can do with just food coloring, you want a gel-based coloring, or you can do with like almost a light glaze of your royal icing, which of course my water has orange in it, but that's okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my really wet paintbrush and get some water in with my icing. Can you guys see that? So I'm just thinning down the icing so that I can paint with it. This will make sure it dries super fast, and but yet you get that flavor of the icing. So all I'm gonna do is paint my petals. Actually, this one you can paint the whole thing because I did the middle orange, and we're gonna do that with a powder color. So that's all I do to get your really pretty yellow flowers. And this is actually, I made my royal icing and I pulled it right out of the mixer in a thick consistency, and I added the Simi yellow from the Simi Splash. Even though it's an airbrush color, I knew I was going to thin down my icing, so I didn't mind the consistency. And this is the Simi yellow, and our green was this the green, the Envy green. So that's pretty cool. Love my Simi Splash. So yeah, you can use them for more than just airbrushing, y'all. So you're gonna want to do 3 or 4 of these. On my circle, it's just under a 4-inch circle. It's there's 7 little flowers, so some are white and some are yellow. So you just want to paint them like so, and then let them dry a little bit. Now for the white flowers, you can do this before you bake them. If you do it before you bake them, you will get a crackle effect. I wanted more of a colored effect. And this one I did use a gel. I tried with the Simi, but it is an airbrush color, so we wanted more of a solid color. And so this I just used a gel. And if you bake it or heat it after, it'll give you that crackle effect, but this was our Enco gel that I used just to paint it. This is for people like my mom who like their cookies without icing. Once it dries, you won't have any flavor with it, so. I love this plumeria. I just got this plumeria at the retreat. I didn't have this one. I have like every seashell possible, I think. I might have to check out and see what else I need from Simi because I love your molds. But this one's super cute. It's perfect. Now that I've painted my fingers. All right. And again, it's okay if you paint the center, because we're just gonna go over that again. All right, so now I've got these little guys painted. My water nice and murky. All right, and then last but not least, well, I did the orange center. So I did the white ones with a yellow center, which I used the icing. So that you can just, and if you run out, you can just put some more icing in there. Mix it up with some water. I love painting with icing. It's so fun. And once it dries, if it's not dark enough for you, you can go over it again a second time. Hi! Quentin in the house. Thanks for coming out, y'all. Okay. And then for the orange, I did use the Sugar Art Sterling Pearl Orange. So you can use any color that you want. And I just have a little bit of Everclear alcohol to get it in a paint consistency in order to transfer it onto my cookie neatly. Oh, so pretty. All right. So there you have those. And then, of course, we can't forget our center little guy. I forget you, little guy. So the center, I did yellow in the middle. And of course, you can do any colors you want. Look, my orange got mixed in because I did not clean my brush very good. That one's going to be really pretty. And then I just used the white for the petals. And you can do any color you want. And again, you can do these in Isomalt too. The possibilities are endless. Everybody's so quiet. Y'all are so quiet out there. Oh, the microwave is not quiet. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry while I check the Isomalt. Okay, I'm gonna do 15 seconds. Just because it should be what? A rolling boil. This mold is amazing, let me tell you. Like, I have also the dragonfly one, but I'll show you how cool it is because there's 2 different butterflies on here and they're very different. The flowers are cookie, Laura, and when you get a chance, watch the replay. We showed you how to put them in the Simi molds to make your cookies whatever shapes you want out of the molds. Okay. So we've got our Isomalt. What I'm gonna do is clear my mat of the cookies and move my Isomalt away from me so I don't spill it on myself. Okay. I'm gonna move my cookies off camera, but those are your cookies. They're gonna dry for a bit over here while we work on our Isomalt. How many things can I move around? Look, Sydney, you're gonna be excited. Let's get our little Isomalt mat, our silicone Simi mat. Yay! Okay. And the only thing is I'm on like selfie mode, so I think the logos are backwards, but is that your mold? Yeah, these are all Sydney's molds. I know you asked Sydney, but I'm gonna answer. So the flower is the Plumeria mold from Simi, and the center flower is on the butterfly mold, the big one. I don't know what it's called, the big butterfly. But they are great. Okay, so we are going to start pouring our Isomalt. I am going to have my coloring ready. So for this one, you do want to use airbrush coloring to color your butterflies. And I'm going to put a few out here so you can see them. Depending on what colors you want, like this is the yellow and orange from the Simi Splash, and then I also used other brands as well, so you can try both. I accidentally didn't have, like, I lost my blue, but I found it was at home. That's the problem with the shop. Half of my supplies are here and half of them are at my house, so when I was doing them, I was like, oh my gosh, why don't I have blue? And I needed blue to make purple. I needed blue for everything. I was so sad. So, so the purple is not mixed, but we can try to mix today. And then you'll want to have it ready to go in your palette. So this one is the pink that I made out of Simi, and I used the base white, the Simi Color Splash, and I used the red. So I actually didn't follow the recipe because we're not airbrushing with it. We're mixing it into the Isomalt, but we don't want it fully mixed. Ooh, I like that multi one, Sydney. Okay, and then that would have made baking faster, but hey, one at a time is what I did. And for mixing like this, you can see the different colors. So this is a straight out of the container Enco airbrush pink. And this is the Simi pink that I mixed. I did 1 drop of red and like 6 drops of the base white. So you can see it's a different shade of pink, but it's still really, really pretty either way. So we have some different colors. So let me get my toothpicks ready. You can use like Isomalt tools, but for this one I didn't want to get my tools all dyed in different colors, so I'm going to use toothpicks to stir in my colors, and I'm like making sure I have them all. Okay, so we've got the Isomalt, and it's in our little Simi pour cup, melting cup. That's not what it's called, pour cup. Melting cup. I'm going to start with the little guy. So let's, can everybody see the little guy over here? All right, so we're just going to put the Isomalt in, and be careful. You can purchase gloves from Simi. Unfortunately, I learned from Sydney. Sorry, Sydney. And I don't have gloves on. But I'm not going to pull anything. I'm just going to pour today, so. But even the little cup gets a little hot, so just be careful because it is very hot. I want to make sure that my butterfly, the Isomalt, is all the way in them. So sometimes, because these are very small areas, I'll take my toothpick and I'll pull those bubbles to the top. So I'll just drag it through. And if there's bubbles, honestly, we are our worst critics and we'll see it, but our customers will not. Our loved ones will not. They'll think, wow, you're amazing, because you are. Oops. So even, and I'll show you, some of them might have like little spots that I missed the bubble, but it looks fine. It's just sugar, so we shouldn't stress about it. That's my favorite saying. And especially its body though, I do want to poke its body. And if you want to do a torch over the top, because everybody knows I love using fire. So if you want to torch the top and get those bubbles that came to the top off, you can. Okay? So now once he's in there and he's still wet, I'm going to go ahead and use my toothpick to dip into the coloring. So let's do blue, because now that I have the blue here, I'm pretty stoked about it. So we're going to do some Simi Splash Blue. And that's the fun part. You can literally do any color. And you're going to really put it in and then mix around. Oh, it's so beautiful. And because I'm only using this airbrush for that, I don't mind that I'm redipping my toothpick into the food coloring. So the more you put in, the darker it'll be, and the lighter. And so you can put as little or as much color in it as you want. You do want to push it into the Isomalt, otherwise you're going to have like a layer of food coloring on the top. So I like it to be like this. I'm glad Sydney's on things. Sydney, look at you. Oh, hi, Christina. Y'all, Christina here is my number 2 here at Sheer Celebrations. She's like, don't say that. All right, so that's the little one. We're gonna let him dry a little bit. The larger one is more at an angle, you'll see. So when I did the purple, I did not angle him at all. It's still liquid, but I want it to be super liquidy so I can keep talking. So you can see this little guy, he looks angled, but that one I dried flat. And you can see this one I dried flat, this one I dried angled. It is a huge angle when I dry angled. I don't know if you can see. But yeah, this one doesn't even need to be angled in my opinion, because the way that the mold has been made already makes it for a perfect butterfly. A butterfly flapping its wings. Okay, so for this one, I have no idea what colors I have in there, but we will pour. Okay. I'm gonna pour in the body, and you'll see like the wings are gonna be thicker because, and don't be chintzy, because I was a little chintzy on the second one I did, or the third one I did, and you can tell he's missing like part of his head. Okay, so this one does not have so many little crevices, but it does have those little dots. So you can poke those little dots if you want to. It's not necessary. It's gonna look beautiful either way. But if you're super perfectionist, then you can do that. And then we're gonna put some color in. So let's try to mix. And I'm gonna put a drop of red in my, right, this is red, in my blue. Maybe 2 drops. And see if it's purpley. We'll see what happens. I haven't done this one yet because, like I said, I lost my blue until I found it last night, or this morning. Okay, so I don't know what color. It might be blue, it might be red. It's kind of bluish. Let me do another red. We'll see what happens. But you can do any airbrush coloring in here that you want. You could probably do powder coloring too, I'm guessing. Okay, so I've got it on my toothpick, and I'm just gonna push in. Oh, it's kind of a dark blue. I did a dark blue, y'all. I'm gonna do the yellow too. We'll do a tiny bit of blue on the top, and then we'll do yellow on the bottom. Oops. Oh, it's kind of like a navy. It's so fun to play with these colors. All right. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of the Simi Splash yellow. I'm gonna come over here. This one I know is beautiful because I used it already. And I'm gonna, so you can do multiple colors. I'm gonna do some on the bottom and mix it in. I'm not gonna worry about his body at all because I'm going to color him black. Okay. So that's weird because they're underlined on my side. I'm just reading the comments. All right, so we're gonna let these dry for just a smidge, and then I'm gonna show you 2 different ways to do the butterfly. So we'll let him dry. While he dries, I'm gonna bring out my dry one with green. Like I said, you can do it with a naked cookie. That's how I did it the first time. But you can do it with green. You could even do like leaves in between. I just didn't want anything to take away from the pretty butterflies. But we'll try it green for this one. And my other cookies are actually all dry because they are very thin coats. So we'll start with the center piece. And again, if you see anything that's missing or you're not happy with something, you can do a second coat here. It's fine. Okay. And then to attach it, we are going to use the royal icing. You can use Isomalt as well. You can use chocolate, whatever you're most comfortable with. But I'm just gonna put a little bit on the bottom and then pop it onto my cookie. And then because it's 7 around, there's actually 2 white ones in a row. You probably didn't even notice, but there's 2 white ones in a row and they're underneath the little, or the big butterfly. So we will do that. And you can kind of place them first. I probably recommend that. Place them first and then attach them. But they do pop off pretty easy. Oops. I had some extras, clearly. This little guy's hanging out. Okay. And depending on how much dough you put in your mold is how big they are, how much they stand up. So I'm just gonna put some icing underneath and attach them down. If they fall off, some of them, the naked ones, I did attach with Isomalt, some of them, just because they are holding the weight of the little butterflies. So you can do that as well. Oh my gosh, I had orange on me. It's okay, the butterfly's gonna be there. Okay. So they're still moving a little, but they will dry and then they'll be ready to go. Okay, so we just want to attach those down. Hi, Muddy Bell. And set that to the side too. And check on our little butterflies. All right, I'm going to show you 2 different ways to do the butterfly. So, the first way, he is not quite dry, but you can take him out. So when I start to move him, you'll see he can bend, but he's still whole. And usually I push these down too, but you can torch them or file them. So I'm gonna pull him out while he's still a little wet, or pliable, not really wet. And you can still shape those little parts. You can always torch them too. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, you can get some aluminum foil and just shape it in a triangle. So when I first did this, I did aluminum foil and I wadded it up and I shaped it how I wanted it and I put my butterfly there to dry. And then I thought, I have 3D printers because we make our own cookie cutters. I can make this. So then I thought, okay, I'm gonna get this and then I'm gonna cover it with foil. So I did that and then I thought, it's not hot Isomalt. I don't have to cover it with foil. So I love the blue too. So these little triangle things, I just made them, and they are so handy because they're gonna make our butterfly exactly the shape I want, and I don't have to stand there and hold it and wait. I can just leave it on the little stand and put him to the side. So that's one way to form him. I'm gonna do one more. Well, actually 2 more, but let's pour it in. And then, where's my other? Oh my gosh, I used all those toothpicks. But wait, there's more. Okay. So we're gonna do, I'm like, pink is my favorite color. I'm gonna do pink. I feel like it needs to be, I feel like everything needs to be like pink and purple for, you know, shoe celebrations. But today I feel like it needs to be like pink and yellow. Like everything needs yellow because it's the Simi. Yes, the triangle form, it's uploading to the website right now, Christina. We will have them available for sale. They'll probably be in white. These are just our cookie cutter colors. But yes, those are going to be on the, it's not scary at all. We deal with way scarier things, Maribel. Sugar is fun. I think you were afraid of cookies before too, and now look at you. You're like cookie artist. Yes, but we'll get those, and if you have a 3D printer, we'll get the file available as well. Actually, you can buy that now. It's under just STL files. All of our files we sell. So yes, so you'll be able to do that. So I'm gonna let this guy dry and cool, and let's see if we want to pull this. This one's gonna take longer because it's still real warm. You can feel it. This one's gonna take longer because it's deeper, and so you want to make sure it dries all the way through. But no worries. I'm gonna put that not all the way to the side, just right here, so you guys can still watch him dry. All right, now I'm gonna show you my super duper fancy schmancy way of putting black on Isomalt. Is everybody excited? So I'm actually surprised, like, I don't see this. I feel like I'm the only one out there doing it, but you know, I live in my own little world. I'm pretty excited because I did this, I want to say in 2019, I want to say. Is that the last time, Sydney, that we did a collaboration, a Simi collaboration? We did Christmas movies. Whenever we did Christmas movies for the Simi collab, and I chose, it was like the first year I'd ever seen, and my mother would watch this movie every year. She would watch like 2 or 3 different Christmas movies, and It's a Wonderful Life was always in 34th Street, Miracle on 34th Street. So It's a Wonderful Life I had never seen, and as a child I was like, ugh, you're watching this old time movie, ugh. And then as an adult, it is literally my favorite movie, and it was never meant to be a Christmas movie. That's just when it happened to come out, and it really got its shining moment because it didn't have royalty fees, so they could play it on all the stations, and like there was no I don't know the legal terms, but there was no legalities to airing it, so that's how it got so widespread. And I just think it's a great story, and I mean, it's real. It is like real. If you haven't seen it, you need to see you need to see It's a Wonderful Life. So I did It's a Wonderful Life, and there's a line on there like, you want the moon, Mary? I'll throw a lasso around it and I'll give you the moon. So I did a moon out of Isomalt, and I did a silhouette of the characters on the moon. And then I shined some light through it with a lasso around it, and it was like sticking up. And I did not know how to get the silhouette onto my Isomalt. Like I'm not like a freeform painter wonderful at this. Well, let me tell you, edible markers right on Isomalt. So it opens up a whole new world with edible markers. So that's what I used to color my butterflies black. So we have one here that's already dry. I don't know why I have the cookie out here. We have one here that's already dry, and you'll see this one I did really good with my toothpick work. There's no like cracks or anything. Pretty stoked about it. And oh my gosh, that blue, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the Simi Blue Dry and it's so pretty. Okay, so this one, all I'm gonna do is I kind of angle my brush or my marker so I'm not poking down. I'm gonna angle it so that I can just color the top, because this mold, and as I color it you'll see, has like little indentations. So I don't want to color inside those, I just want to color around them. So, and you can do the whole edges too of your butterfly with edible marker. I mean, really, work smarter, not harder, folks. This is my favorite thing to do because it looks so cool and it looks like you spent hours painting it or coloring it and you didn't, but nobody needs to know that. It's our secret, okay? But yeah, so this is how I do the black on the outside of my butterflies. And if you want to use like a stencil on like say you want to do like a lollipop and you want to stencil something on it, you could use edible marker. When I did the It's a Wonderful Life piece, I printed out the picture, put it down, my already dry and hardened Isomalt, I put on top of it because it's clear. So, and I just traced. So that's cool. I'm gonna have to find that picture. I'll go back to the body so you can see how I do that. I do it a little different. But these, and I've used like 3 or 4 different brands of edible markers, so they have all worked so far. I have used the PME glaze spray at the end. They stay. I haven't found any issues yet. Let me know if you guys do, so I don't do that. And then for the body, I just color them in. I mean, you could leave them clear if you wanted. It is your butterfly. And again, you can do these out of cookie. Now remember, the triangle former is not oven safe. It is a 3D printed item and you cannot put it in the oven. So you can't bake a cookie like that. You would need like foil or a metal form. You could always get like the metal cookie cutters and form them if you need to form your butterflies. But yes, for Isomalt you can do it, but for the cookies you can't bake the triangle forms. So there's our first butterfly. He's so cute. All right, and let's see if we can pull the large one out yet. So he's still a little warm. So if he's still a little warm, we can do our non-torch bend. Let me get him out. I'm like, be careful. Okay, so he is still a little warm. If he's not, we can torch him. Oh, look how pretty it is. So that's blue with a little bit of red, and it also has Simi yellow in it. And I'm just gonna lay him down. Oh, you know what? I'm not. This guy, you can. So for him, I actually did him this way, and you can angle his wings up a little if you want and let him dry on the former, just like that. Or you can lay him flat, because like I said, his wings are already angled. So you can dry him flat. I don't know why he's a boy, but he is. So he can dry flat. And then let's pull off our Simi Blue one. He's so beautiful. And then we're gonna do this guy with the black as well. This blue is like, I think this one's my favorite Simi Splash color. I'm biased, but this one's my, it just makes me think of the ocean and the sky and just everything beautiful. And you can color this outside. You don't have to. Again, it's your butterfly. You do it how you do you. I just want to thank everybody for joining us today. I'm so glad y'all are here. And again, shout out to Sydney for inviting me. Look, I'm not even going to torch it. I'm just going to chip that off. Okay. No one needs to know. How will they know? How will they know? Can you guys see? And I'm sure you could do this with a paintbrush, with powder or airbrush color, but you don't have to. So there's our little blue guy. We'll put him over here with our family of butterflies. And then for the large one, he just has like a few dots and lines. So this one, for the dots, they're not indented. They're kind of outdented. Convex. Look at me. And so I'm just going to dab them. And of course, you can see that I've dabbed a lot. That's why my marker's a little crazy. But I have like 20 of these because they are my favorite ones. They do come in a rainbow color pack too. And we should get, we sold out of those at the retreat last month. And I need to get some more. I just sold out of the ones that I got in. We'll get more in though. So these, I'm just tracing these lines. And if it goes a little wonky, it's just sugar. It's okay. No one minds. Right, Tina? The blue is amazing. And you just need a teeny bit for it to be like, oh. Now the Simi Splash colors you can get directly from Sydney. Shout out. Okay, I'm excited to see like who's gonna make these. Y'all need to tag me if you make them because I want to see the beautiful work that you do. And I want to see them in like, I did mine in all Isomalt. I did mine in all cookie. Like, I can't wait to see what everybody does. And these lines do stick out a little, but not as pronounced as the other ones. So sometimes I miss. And these ones I didn't do the outside because I wanted the light to be able to shine in. But I did do his body. And this mold is so stinking cute that his little body is just like a butterfly. Like it's got the little fuzzy part on it. It's so cute. I love it. I kind of missed his little tail there. Okay. But he's ready to go, and I love the dual color. So you, like, the sky's the limit. You can really do anything with these, and you can color them a million different ways. And the best thing is that no two will ever be alike, just like in real life. Like, there's no two flowers alike, there's no two butterflies alike, there's no two snowflakes alike, and that is the beauty of it. So we're gonna let this one harden all the way because I want to show you guys how you do it without just bending it on the mold, say on the former. Say you're busy and it's cooling and it cools all the way. Like, I don't want to leave you hanging and you not know how to take care of that. But while that dries a little more, we're gonna just heat up our Isomalt a smidgen more. And we're gonna put everything together. And I can't wait. I'm so stoked. So man, I think I want to use this one. I love it. And we'll use this one, and we'll use this one. There's so many. There's so many butterflies. Yes, the molds that I used were the Plumeria, and they have this single one, and then they have like a group of them, so you can like mass produce. I love it. And then this is the one from the garden collection that I used, and I used both butterflies, and I used this flower right here. I want to say daisy, but I don't really know my flowers. So those are all from Simi. The Isomalt is the pre-cooked tiles from Simi. It is the best out there. And I have tried to see what is out there, and let me tell you, don't even waste your time. Simi's the best. Okay, so this is their melting cup too. So it's a silicone melting cup, which means no waste, no like rinsing out your extra. You just wait for it to dry, you crunch it, and you can leave it in here and put it in a Ziploc baggie, or you can pour it out and put it in a Ziploc baggie and then reheat it over and over and over again. Because that's how amazing it is. All right, so we are going to use our Atico tool that is Isomalt ready, and we're gonna dip. So you can dip with the tool, you can dip with the butterfly. It's really up to you how you want to do this. I'm gonna try to do this. Okay, we're gonna put the blue guy in the middle because he's so pretty. So all we're gonna do is put some on the bottom. Make sure you're dripping down and not over your fingers because it is hot. You can also dip the whole butterfly into the Isomalt, whatever works for you. Any extra strings we can pull off later. So we're gonna put him in the middle. So we're just gonna put him down on the flower and kind of hold him there for him to cool. If you have a fan, you can put that on him. All right, Tina, we want to see what you make with it. I can't wait. All right, and then we're gonna do the next one. I'm just gonna put some Isomalt, hot liquid Isomalt on the bottom. Stand him up. Oh, he's so cute. This is really cool with like a light behind it. All right, let's do purple. Oh, yeah, let's do purple. And the great thing about the Isomalt is your glue is, it's so fast. You're not using a ton. I think my first one, my wings didn't touch, but this one they're gonna lean on each other just a tad. All right, I'm gonna scooch this back. Before my final butterfly, I'm gonna show you guys how to form him if he's already dry. So he's dry, I can't bend him. If I try to bend him, he'll snap. You need to be very careful with this because you're gonna use fire. So on the front, you can torch it very lightly because you don't want it to get rid of those details. So I'm gonna do the back first, and I'm just gonna torch the middle and wait for a few seconds. And flip it over, torch the front without losing that detail. Pick him up. If he doesn't bend yet, oh, he kind of bends. You can torch one more time. You want to torch on both sides. Oops. And now, because I just torched, you can put a piece of foil, like greased foil on there, just with some cooking spray, or you can wait until it's not liquidy, and then you can just put it on the former. Like so. So that's if your butterfly is already all the way hard and dry and you want to form it on the former, you can torch it, okay? So that is the other way to do it if you're not right there waiting to pull it out at the exact moment you need to. All right, so this one I kind of want to line up and see where he's gonna touch. So pretty much in the center of his wings. And I'm gonna put some Isomalt there. You could also torch him if you wanted to, but I like to use the liquid. It just gives a little more sealing capabilities. Okay. There you have it. And there you have it, our butterfly topper. I can't wait to see what you guys do. Oh yeah, this is a Simi mat. It's silicone. You can use a taco tray. You can. Or you can support your sister's business and get a thing. A taco tray though, oh yeah, because they have the little thing. I don't own any taco trays, but I can print you some taco trays, Quentin. There you go. Anybody has any questions, feel free to shout out. Thank you so much, Tina. Thank you guys for joining. I hope you had fun, and I hope you learned something new, and can't wait to see all your butterfly gardens. Thanks. Have a great one. Thanks for letting me take over, Sydney. Let's see. I'm waving, but nobody can see me. Bye. Thank y'all for coming. It was so fun. I hope you guys had as good a time as I did. And I will be posting my workspace. My workspace is ever moving, so I'm on like this side of the room. Usually I teach on the other side of the room, but I needed some outlets and stuff for the microwave, so this was a lot of fun, so I'll be posting it. Thanks Mama Sheer, thanks Diane, thanks Christina, thanks Maribel, and thank you Sydney. Have a good one everybody.